The building behind me, the center block, is not the original center block. There, in the 1860s, there was a beautiful old building built then. That was our first center block, but it was destroyed by fire on February the 3rd, 1916. It was right in the middle of the war. And so many thought the fire was deliberately set. Others thought it was an accident, a careless smoker. I think it probably was deliberately set. Francis Glass, who was a member of Parliament, was the first eyewitness to the fire. And he was standing at one of the reading desks, reading a newspaper, and from the desk behind him, on one of its shelves, he felt a wave of heat. And he described it as if it was from a hot air register. He saw a small flame and smoke, but he felt the heat first, and then he smelled the smoke, and then he saw the flame, in that order, 1, 2, 3. If it was started by, if somebody put a cigarette or a match on the newspapers back there, it would have been what we call a smoldering fire. It would have smoldered for a long time, and you would have smelled the smoke long before it caught fire. It doesn't sound like it was a smoldering fire. It just flashed into existence. Another one that's very interesting is that there was a warning 3 weeks before the fire. A man whose name was Mr. Means, Gaston Means, told the newspapers in the United States that he had learned from some German interests, he called it, that plans had been discussed to burn the Parliament building down, Ottawa's Parliament building, in 3 weeks' time. So he told this to a man called John Ratham, who was editor of a newspaper in the States, the Providence Journal in Rhode Island. And Ratham told it to the authorities, and nothing happened really. But 3 weeks later, our building did burn down, and the next day, Ratham published an article explaining what happened. So that's another interesting bit of information.